Welcome back in the kitchen this morning with Chef Becca. Chef Becca, where do you work?
Good morning. I work at Redwood Steakhouse.
Awesome. So not a personal chef, but you are a chef.
I am a chef. I am.
I'm telling you, some of your dishes make me wish that you were a personal chef. So
Yeah.
I can hire you because your dishes are very good. And
Hey,
today,
you can hire me. I have my own DBA.
there you go. We're sticking with the theme for St. Patrick's Day. Of course, it's coming up this weekend, and a lot of cities actually celebrated last weekend because it falls on a Sunday. But we're getting kind of an Irish dish going.
And you know
here.
what? I figure I'd kick it off right. Kind of wanted to be here later in the week, but you know what? There's no better way to start the morning than with corned beef.
There you go.
First thing, it is my boyfriend's birthday this morning. Good morning, honey. Happy birthday to you.
All right, so here we go. Let's talk about the dish.
Yes, today we're making an open-faced corned beef sandwich. We're going to take our rye bread, or rye swirl bread that I have here. Isn't that pretty?
It's awesome.
And it tastes fabulous. I'm going to bring my griddle out here in a little while, and we're going to grill this off, get it nice and hot. Going to take some shaved corned beef. I'm going to show how to shave that against the grain here in a little while. And I'm going to start making some beef pepper gravy. We're also going to, on top of the corned beef, we're going to put some white cheddar mashed potatoes. And then we're going to garnish the whole thing with some cheese and onions, and it's just going to be,
what's this crazy looking stuff right here?
Stuff right here is what you would call a beef base. A lot of people, when they make gravies, they use bouillon cubes. You can if you want. That's kind of old school. Beef base is the way to go, and I'll show you how to make that here in a little while.
See, to me, this kind of looks like
it doesn't look
like
the
a cookie
greatest.
dough or a chocolate cake dough or something like that.
You dissolve it in the water just like you would a bouillon cube, add your thickener, and you've got a gravy.
So magic. Right now you're just slicing up the beef. Any specialty or particulars with the beef?
You want to cook it according to your manufacturer's directions. I actually cooked it in my crock pot for about 4.5 to 5 hours, just on low and slow. Submerge it in the water, put the seasonings in it, stick it in your fridge and let it rest. The next morning, shave it, and it's so good.
And it peels off.
And it peels off.
Like
it's
piece of cake. Very crisp.
Piece?
No, I'm good right now, but we will try it once it's all done. We'll talk much more with you, Becca, coming up throughout the hour. We're going to cook all this together, and then we'll all taste it here.
It's going to be crazy.
I know. Getting ready for St. Patrick's Day. It is this Sunday, so maybe you have those plans for St. Patrick's Day. Let's go ahead and take a look at your extended forecast. Welcome back in the kitchen this morning with Chef Becca. Chef Becca, we are getting ready for St. Patrick's Day. It is this weekend.
Little Irish chit.
That's right. We got our chit chat going on, and we're talking about a lot of places and communities actually celebrated last Saturday because it actually falls on a Sunday, but we are going to be cooking this week all kinds of Irish stuff. So what are you making this morning?
This morning I'm making an open-faced corned beef sandwich. It's kind of comparable to a Reuben, only better because I'm using our rye swirl bread. Right now I'm getting ready to boil my beef base that we talked about earlier at the top of the show. I've just dissolved it in the water. We're going to let it boil, and we're going to add our cornstarch and water slurry to it. Remember how I always talk about thickeners?
Right.
This is just another thickener.
What did you call that one thickener? That roux?
A roux, yes. That's butter and flour.
Gotcha.
Here's the already made beef pepper gravy. It's really good. A couple people have already tried my creation this morning and just love it.
Awesome.
One thing important that I want to show about the meat, you want to cut it against the grain. See how you can see how it's going this way?
Kind of lined up, yeah.
Anytime you're cutting meat like this and shaving it, you always want to cut it against it. It'll fall apart. It won't be tough. It'll be just delectable. Let me explain real quick. A couple of people in the studio asked about how to cook this corned beef. Cook it in a crock pot, 4.5 to 5 hours. Submerge it just enough in the water to where it's not a lot, but not too little. The seasoning pack that comes with it, throw that right in it and just let it go. Just let it sit.
So nothing fancy with the beef. You can have any particular
nothing fancy
beef
whatsoever.
Okay. So we got pepper, we've got some chives, we've got some cheese, and we've got some mashed potatoes.
That's
so we're going
all
to throw
going
this
on
all
the top
together.
of it. We're going to put our slurry in here. Make our gravy. That's going to thicken this gravy up literally within just seconds. It just did.
Oh yeah, it's done.
Oh yes, it's done.
That didn't take any time at all.
No, it does not.
And how is all this going to go with the rye bread? Do you just kind of stack it on top of it?
We're going to grill the rye bread on our griddle.
Okay.
We're going to take a small pile of our corned beef. We're going to put it right on top of our griddle with a little bit of water. Okay. And you're also going to take I don't know where it went, my little lid there. Yeah. Basically what you're going to do is you're just going to squirt the water in there. The steam's going to come up and it's going to soften the beef and heat it. We're going to take the bread, meat, our lovely white cheddar mashed potatoes that you can either make homemade, out of the box, however you want to do it. Then we're going to smother it with our beef pepper gravy. Throw some cheese and
Can it be 7 o'clock already?
We're almost there.
Eat this?
We're almost
there.
Right,
once again, to thank Chef Becca for stopping by from the Redwood Steakhouse, right?
Look at this.
What do you call this?
This is, you know, I tried coming up with a really cool name and I just couldn't, so it's just my open-faced corned beef sandwich.
Scott, our floor director, tried it. He said thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Scott?
Rye bread, your corned beef you cooked a couple days ahead, mashed potatoes. It's just yummy.
Thanks,
Drink some
Becca.
green beer.